In a world where everyone has an opinion about how you should live your life, it's easy to fall into the trap of constantly explaining yourself. You justify your choices, defend your actions, and seek validation from people who may never truly understand you. Over time, this habit drains your energy and weakens your sense of self. But Stoicism offers a different path, one rooted in inner strength, clarity, and emotional independence. It teaches that your peace should never depend on others' approval. This video is about reclaiming your power. It's about learning when to speak, when to stay silent, and how to stop giving away your energy to unnecessary explanations. When you master this, you step into a new level of confidence, one that is quiet, unshakable, and deeply rooted within. If you've ever felt misunderstood, judged, or pressured to justify your life, these lessons will change how you see yourself and the world. 1. You don't owe everyone an explanation. One of the most liberating realizations in life is understanding that you don't owe everyone an explanation. Not everyone deserves access to your thoughts, your decisions, or your reasons. Stoicism teaches that your life is guided by your own values and principles, not by the expectations of others. When you constantly explain yourself, you are subconsciously asking for permission to live your life. But true power comes from deciding your path and walking it without hesitation. There will always be people who question your choices. Some will doubt you, criticize you, or misunderstand your intentions. But their opinions do not define your reality. The more you try to justify yourself to everyone, the more you dilute your own authority. Instead, choose to stand firm. Speak when it's necessary, but don't feel obligated to defend every move you make. By letting go of the need to explain yourself, you free your mind from unnecessary stress. You begin to operate from a place of confidence rather than insecurity. And in that silence, you'll discover something powerful: peace. 2. Over-explaining signals self-doubt. When you over-explain, it often sends a message that you're unsure of yourself, even if that's not your intention. Stoicism emphasizes clarity and confidence. When you truly believe in your decisions, you don't feel the need to constantly justify them. Your words become simple, direct, and purposeful. Think about it. People who are secure in themselves don't feel pressured to convince others. They state their position and move on. But when you keep adding more explanations, trying to make everyone understand, it can appear as if you're seeking validation. This weakens your presence and gives others the impression that your decisions are negotiable. The key is to trust yourself. Make decisions based on reason and values, not fear of judgment. Once you've spoken your truth, let it stand. Not everyone will agree, and that's okay. Stoicism teaches that agreement is not necessary for peace, self-assurance is. When you stop over-explaining, you project strength. You show that you are grounded, decisive, and confident. And over time, people will begin to respect your words more, because they carry weight. 3. Silence is a form of strength. Silence is often misunderstood. Many people associate it with weakness or avoidance, but in Stoicism, silence is a form of discipline and strength. Not every situation requires your voice. Not every opinion deserves your response. When you learn to remain silent in the face of unnecessary conflict or criticism, you demonstrate control over your emotions. Reacting to everything gives others power over you. It means they can provoke you, distract you, and drain your energy. But when you choose silence, you take that power back. You decide what is worth your time and what is not. Silence also creates mystery and respect. When you don't constantly explain yourself, people are left to observe your actions rather than dissect your words. And actions, as the Stoics remind us, are far more powerful. By embracing silence, you protect your peace. You avoid pointless arguments and conserve your energy for what truly matters. In a noisy world, the ability to remain silent is not just rare, it's powerful. 4. People will misunderstand you anyway. No matter how clearly you explain yourself, some people will still misunderstand you. This is a hard truth, but an important one. Everyone sees the world through their own lens, shaped by their experiences, beliefs, and biases. That means your words can be interpreted in ways you never intended. Stoicism teaches acceptance of this reality. You cannot control how others perceive you, and trying to do so is exhausting. The more you attempt to correct every misunderstanding, the more trapped you become in a cycle of explanation and frustration. Instead, focus on what you can control: your actions, your intentions, and your character. Let people think what they want. Over time, those who truly understand you will see your consistency and integrity. Letting go of the need to be understood by everyone is freeing. It allows you to live authentically without constantly adjusting yourself to fit others' expectations. And in that freedom you find peace. 5. Speak once, then move on. There is power in saying something once, clearly, confidently, and without hesitation. Stoicism encourages directness and simplicity in communication. When you express yourself, do it with intention. Say what needs to be said, and then move forward. Repeating yourself over and over, trying to make everyone agree or understand, only weakens your message. It turns a strong statement into a plea for validation. But when you speak once and stand by your words, you show conviction. Not everyone will listen. Not everyone will agree. And that's perfectly fine. Your goal is not to control others, it's to remain true to yourself. When you adopt this mindset, you'll notice a shift. Conversations become less draining. You stop chasing approval. And you begin to value your words more, because you use them wisely. 6. Protect your time and energy. Your time and energy are limited resources. Every moment spent explaining yourself unnecessarily is a moment taken away from your growth. Stoicism teaches you to be intentional with how you use your energy. Not every conversation is worth having. Not every person deserves your attention. When you recognize this, you become more selective. You stop engaging in pointless debates and start focusing on what truly matters: your goals, your discipline, and your peace of mind. Protecting your energy is not selfish, it's necessary. It allows you to operate at your highest level without being drained by external noise. And when you stop wasting energy on explanations, you have more to invest in building the life you want. 7. Build unshakable inner confidence. True confidence comes from within, not from external validation. The more you rely on others to approve your decisions, the weaker your confidence becomes. But when you trust yourself, you no longer feel the need to explain. Stoicism teaches self-reliance. It encourages you to develop a strong inner foundation, one that is not easily shaken by opinions or criticism. When you believe in your choices, you stand firm, even when others doubt you. This kind of confidence is quiet. It doesn't need to be announced or defended. It simply exists. And it grows stronger every time you choose to trust yourself instead of seeking validation. 8. Set strong boundaries without words. When you stop explaining yourself, you naturally begin to set stronger boundaries. You show people what you will and will not tolerate, not through long explanations, but through your actions. Boundaries are not about controlling others, they're about protecting yourself. And the strongest boundaries are often silent. When you walk away from disrespect, when you refuse to engage in negativity, you send a clear message. People will either respect your boundaries or distance themselves. Either way, you win. Because you are no longer sacrificing your peace to accommodate others. 9. Detach from the need for approval. The need for approval is one of the biggest reasons people over-explain themselves. They want to be liked, accepted, and understood. But Stoicism teaches that your worth is not determined by others' opinions. When you detach from this need, you gain freedom. You no longer feel pressured to justify your choices. You make decisions based on your values, not on how others might react. This doesn't mean you ignore everyone, it means you stop depending on them for validation. And when you do, you become unstoppable. 10. Let your actions speak louder than words. At the end of the day, your actions define you, not your explanations. Stoicism emphasizes living with integrity and consistency. When your actions align with your values, there is no need to constantly explain yourself. People may doubt your words, but they cannot ignore your actions. Over time, your behavior will speak for itself. It will show who you are, what you stand for, and what you believe in. So instead of explaining, focus on doing. Build, grow, improve, and stay consistent. Let your life be your message. If this message spoke to you, then you're already on the path to reclaiming your power. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more powerful Stoic lessons that will strengthen your mind, sharpen your discipline, and transform your life.